Hello, everyone, and welcome to whatever this is going to be. I decided to start a little audio cast, podcast, whatever you want to call it. Don't even really have a name for it. Don't know if I have a direction for it yet either, but I wanted to start something a little different, mainly to get some thoughts off my brain, bring to you some information about the channel, and just ramble a little bit. I like to ramble. A couple of you have noticed that from my videos, but yeah, no face, no waving hand, friendly waving hand, welcoming you. So just use your imagination. But I thank you for coming by. Big thanks to all the subscribers. We've definitely been seeing them come out more and more as the days go by. And I really do appreciate that. It's not necessarily something that I ever thought would happen. I really didn't start this podcast start this channel, start this channel to really gain a bunch of subscribers or whatever. I didn't really care about views. Really, the reason I started the channel was because I'm such a trader. Firearms have kind of been the core of the channel in the early days, and they're still dotted around. We do a lot more with rations now than firearms, but I've always been interested in firearms, and really they weren't a huge staple in my home when I was younger. Now, there were some rifles, maybe a rifle or two around, maybe a shotgun. Never any handguns when I was younger. And it really wasn't until I turned 21 and bought my first handgun, which was a Springfield 1911, chambered in .45. I was really excited about that purchase, and it was pretty much soon after that my parents kind of got into it. It's funny to see my little 5'2" mother out there just pinging targets, and she's real good. She's probably a better shot than I am. But anyway, firearms weren't really a huge part of our household, as I said, but there was always a fascination. So once I got older, it's not like I have unlimited funds or have fancy sponsorships from gun shops or whatever that get me firearms to shoot. So I had to rely on trading and wheeling and dealing and making a dollar stretch a little further. So I was doing a lot of trading. I was getting a lot of, firearms that I think were interesting. And I realized one day, man, I might forget some of this. So what I wound up doing was starting the channel based on videos to just remind myself what I had. That was the sole purpose. It had nothing to do with subscribers or views. It was mainly just to say, hey, I might want to remember some of this stuff. And my first video, I don't encourage you to go back and watch it because it is kind of cringy. I was pretty uncomfortable for some reason. And honestly, most of my early videos, I was pretty uncomfortable. I just didn't know how to act in front of the camera. And, they're the World of World Star crop videos because, I didn't really think to turn my phone on its side to get the wide angle. But my first video was of a Taurus 450 Ti. This was a real interesting little revolver. It was a titanium framed revolver chambered in .45 Colt, big old .45 Colt round, and it was a little snub nose revolver. Probably should have only been chambered in like .38 Special. It kicked pretty good, but it was interesting because this was a time when Taurus was putting a little bit more. They weren't necessarily all about budget firearms because this pistol had like a case-hardened hammer, case-hardened trigger, if I remember correctly. And it was nice. It was simple. It was comfortable. But like I said, it had a giant round chambered in it and a little snubby. It had a lot of kinetic energy there. But again, I looked at this. I was like, man, I just have stuff that I think is kind of neat. Why am I not I'm not chronicling this, So that was my way to chronicle it, just putting videos out to remind myself. And then, as I got a little bit more confident, I figured yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna make videos. I have things coming in and out, and then the ration videos started, which really was the thing that brought in the subscribers. And I think a lot of that when I started was still, everybody was still kind of in maybe we should prep mode, and rations. To me, I've always just found rations fascinating. It has little to nothing to do with doomsday prepping, and more to do with I just think they're fun. And a lot of people have looked at me and they're just like, so you just sit and eat military rations? And I'm like, yeah, man, are you kidding me? It's fun. So that's a little bit of the history of the channel. And I kind of want to lead into a couple of topics here. The first topic is, I haven't been necessarily really super, what's the word, into YouTube very much over the past, probably 4 to 5 months, give or take. I'm not really pandering for sympathy. I don't really talk. I'm not going to talk about my personal life, but there were some personal issues that happened, and it sort of sullied my enthusiasm for putting up videos. A lot of that stuff's over, but I was a little depressed, there for a while. But those sort of things happen, and I think it was like, I know there was at least a solid month there where I didn't have any videos up. I think maybe a month and a half before I finally put one up, and people were like, oh hey man, good to see you. Where you at? And I don't know. In a way, I felt bad, because I have some regular people. You guys know who you are. They're usually the first 5 to 10 comments. They're always there, and they watch these videos religiously, and they leave good, solid comments, and they're good, solid people. So I definitely appreciate them. And like I said, in a way, I felt kind of bad. It's like, well, I'm not putting out anything, but I just didn't really feel like it. And then even after that, I was really sporadic. A week would go by, 2 weeks go by, post a video. 3 weeks went by, post another video. So I'm starting to get back to more normal. In the past month or so, I've been fairly consistent. Every week putting out a video, and there's going to be a couple ramp ups. I found some old videos on the hard drive, a couple more Bridgeford products that I just forgot to put out. I don't know. There was something else in there. I don't know. There's a couple of old videos that I just haven't done anything with, and I will, get those put up. But along with that, I kind of want to do this little audio thing. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe every week, maybe every other week, just to kind of inform you about what's going on. And one of the big happenings that's going on with the channel is. Well, there's two things. Let's start with YouTube. So, we all know YouTube has changed quite a bit over the years, from its early fledgling start to where we are now. YouTube has become really an everyday thing for a lot of people. Not just viral videos, but self-help videos. You have a lot of YouTube mechanics out there, and I don't want to sit here and demean that, because I've watched videos on how to do stuff on my truck, and it's been very informative and helpful. YouTube has just become a very cool thing. However, they do have some rules in place that have angered some people. So, a few months back, they instituted that any channel on YouTube, as long as it had 10,000 lifetime views, you could monetize your videos. Anything, anything below that, and you lost your monetization. So, okay, this channel by that time had already, reached well past that. So that wasn't a huge deal. I was fine. But as you know, also around that time, really the monetization value of videos on a lot of channels had gone down. And you've seen some of the popular YouTubers talk about it, even the ones like, PewDiePie, a couple of those YouTubers that I would never watch because I'm not interested in that sort of sensationalized stuff. I don't really care about it. about the newest trending video. I don't watch that sort of stuff. 1,000-degree knife cuts through a golf ball. I don't care. But even those guys were realizing that their money, their earnings was going down. And the firearms community had noticed that pretty heavily. A lot of demonetization was going on. And some of the channels that really relied on that were starting to cry about it. They were starting to get really up in arms. And sorry, I didn't mean to say cry about it like a negative thing, but it is what it is. And, I don't like it. I don't like it personally. It seemed a little targeted, but, there again, who knows? Now we have some more YouTube changes where you can monetize your videos as long as you have both criteria have to be met. So you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on your channel. 4,000 watch hours per 12 months. And this is set to eliminate basically the small YouTubers who are making a couple pennies, that are not really getting a lot out there. And, I kind of understand the gist of it, because I guess if you look at it, and if we're in a perfect world where we trust people, you're going to say, oh yeah, well, the little guys aren't getting their money, so it goes to the bigger guys. We'll see how that works. Personally, I don't really trust things. So, but unfortunately, that does kick our channel off of monetization for a while. At last check, I think I was maybe at like 829, 830 subscribers. Watch hours isn't a problem. The last time I checked, in the past 12 months, I've had almost 10,000 watch hours. Well, maybe a little under that, but the watch hours aren't a problem. Y'all definitely watch the videos. So that's good, but I just don't have the subscribers. So coming in February, the videos will demonetize. What does that mean to you? Nothing really. Nothing really. And it's nothing to get alarmed about. I'm not going to stop making videos just because I've been demonetized. But the monetization really is just like, it's kind of an incentive. It's neat. And, to be honest with you, I haven't made basically anything off of YouTube. I think when the cycle sets for February, I'll have made my second $100 check. So in total, for about 2 years of effort, maybe 1.5 of which was monetized, I've made $200. So it's not much, but $200 I can stretch. I can stretch that into several rations. $100 I can pick up, maybe if I shop right, two cases of MREs, or a couple of interesting foreign rations, or things like I could pile up on some MCWs, because right now they're a little cheaper if you look on YouTube, and MCWs are cool. So that sort of stuff really doesn't. It doesn't mean a bunch, but it is kind of nice to have. It's just that extra added incentive. You have this whole dashboard thing, and I like going into it and just looking at statistics because it's neat. It's neat to see where you guys are watching from. I've got people from all over the country that have watched videos here. That's really cool to me, to know that, my video could have been broadcasting in, simultaneously in the United States, Canada, Great Britain, and Russia or something, and China. Well, I don't know about China, but whatever. It's just cool to see that sort of stuff out there. But, the monetization isn't going to kill this channel, but it was kind of nice. So that's just something that's changed. Eventually, we'll kill that 1,000 subscriber mark in the next couple months. We've been steadily growing in the past 6 months, and it's been really cool to see. And just a general reminder, I did say this in some other videos, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will do an MRE giveaway. So, get all those fake accounts ready. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I do appreciate the support. Continue the subscriptions. And once we hit 1,000, we'll do a little giveaway just as a thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the channel. And just buckling onto that, definitely got a ton of new rations to look at. I just got another MCW in. There's a Lithuanian ration on the way. I got the second new ration that came out in 2016. It took me a while for some reason to really find this one because I found the elbow macaroni and tomato sauce pretty quick, but it was like spinach fettuccine. I just had trouble, but I finally found one, so that'll be going up at some point. Got a couple more oatmeals. Although I've ragged them a little bit, they have a couple of options on like Amazon that are a little bit cheaper. I got it's like a vegetable and beef stew, and what was the other one? Oh, pasta fagioli. That one's bringing up some childhood memories. I remember eating that quite a bit as a kid. So, yeah, there's a couple of other things like that. Now, on top of that, there's going to be some other content that's a little different on the channel. So, a few months back, I had attempted to open a second channel with my brother called Broke Outdoors, an outdoor channel catering to backpacking, hiking, the rations we take, the things that we use, the gear, and so on and so forth. So for a little while, we were able to get some things together, but unfortunately, with as busy as my brother is, and with my schedule and us living in different towns about an hour apart, it doesn't really lend itself to being very consistent. So what we're going to do is I'm not deactivating the channel. Eventually, I hope that we can go back and be a little bit more organized and really put that channel out there. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start posting some of my gear and some of the stuff I use out camping just on this channel. It's definitely not stuff you have to watch if you're just enjoying the rations, but it's just other things. Other things that you might not think about might tie into why you're on YouTube. So there'll be some camping stuff, hiking stuff, the things that I bring with me out on the trail, survival things. So I'm fairly excited about putting that out there. I've wanted to do it, just unfortunately for us, me and my brother, it just wasn't really working out. Now, it's definitely possible that he will be on this channel doing some things with me, and I hope that's the case. It just all depends on schedules. Like I said, he's a busy guy. He really works a lot and works hard. That also will bring in all the freeze-dried rations, because I was doing the freeze-dried rations on the other channel as kind of like a boost, hopefully. But I'm just going to start doing them over here. And then I also got a dehydrator, months ago. I haven't really started using yet. And there'll be some videos on that as we start using it. Because really, the eventuality of what I wanted to do is start making my own meals for the trail. Because so oftentimes you get like Mountain House Wise, whatever, there's a few others, but they're so high in sodium and you can't control what's in them. So now with this dehydrator I can. They don't last as long, but as long as you freeze them, you can keep them in there a year, maybe a little over, and it'll be good. And it's fairly cheap to make. So that's some stuff that's coming to the channel. Just for your edification, it will be there. So if you start seeing it, and hopefully you've listened to this, you'll know what I'm doing. Aside from that, before I get into a couple other topics, I want to give a thank you to a couple of people who've helped out the channel to this point. One of the biggest ones has been Old Smokey. If you haven't subscribed to his channel or seen videos on his channel, I encourage you to do so. Real good guy. We live in bordering states. Every now and again he comes up to my state to do some things, and we've met up a few times, exchanged pleasantries. He's helped me with some rations, among other things. He's a real good guy. He's got a lot of advice on YouTube. So just wanted to shout it out. I appreciate everything, and all of you who are on this channel, make sure that you're looking at his channel as well, because he's a wealth of information. He definitely puts a lot in his videos, and he has a couple of ends to find some really interesting stuff. So make sure you're subscribed to him, because it's very cool. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to I can't say it, foreignmre.com. You know, I don't remember exactly how I found them. Maybe another YouTuber was talking. I think it was G Schultz. So I went on their site and I actually wound up buying a couple of British rations, and I shouted them out in the videos, you know, just like, hey, I got these here, decent price, free shipping. And then, you know, they contacted me and they helped me out with a couple of other rations for the channel. So I just wanted to thank them real quick because, you know, it was very nice of them to even reach out to a smaller channel. You know, just proves that they want to get out there and they do support the community. I've seen them comment on a lot of videos. They've commented on quite a few of my videos. They're definitely out there. They're definitely active. So thank you guys. I just appreciate it. And you know, that's pretty much that. I don't have anybody else to thank. No, I'm just kidding. Just one more thank you to the subscribers. You guys are awesome. I want to move on a little bit to a couple things that'll be happening in another episode. I want to kind of keep these audio logs, podcasty things to maybe 30 minutes. And we're kicking it a little bit here. Like I said, I ramble a bit, so I could probably talk a lot longer than 40 or 30 minutes. Probably get real annoyed with me. But anyway, SHOT Show just wrapped up. For those of you who don't know SHOT Show, very cool. One of the biggest firearm-related shows that happens yearly. This year has been really cool. A lot of neat stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one of these audio shows, just talking about some of the stuff that's come out during SHOT Show and some of the cool stuff that I'm looking at personally. And man, oh man, goodness, they have put out a lot. Like last year was kind of disappointing, honestly. There wasn't much that came out. This year, wow. You know, Ruger's kicking butt out there. Walther came out with the PPQ Compact. IWI has a shotgun Tavor. Palmetto State is coming out with an MP5 clone. I don't know about, you know, you guys, but I grew up watching a lot of 90s action movies. So the Beretta and the MP5 have a special place in my heart. And from all indications, this is going to be working man friendly. And as far as pricing, I'm getting one. No doubt about it, that thing is coming home with me once they come out with it, because that's awesome. What else had come out? Smith & Wesson put out a threaded barrel for their M&P 2.0. Oh, I'm kind of blanking on a lot of it. A lot of stuff did come out, though. A lot of updates. Very cool. Probably one of the most interesting things to me was the new Ruger Security 9. Most of you hopefully know what the Security 6 is. It was a decently budget-friendly revolver. 6 rounds. That's why they call it the Security 6. Nice little revolver for a budget-friendly mindset for the most part. And so when they came out with the Security 9, initially I didn't do much research on it because it was leaked before SHOT Show, along with their 9mm carbine, which it's kind of cool. It's a breakdown. I don't know if I'm super excited about it, but it can take Glock mags. Anyway, so the Security 9, when it came out, I thought, what is that, like a single stack? Because I like a few others, and I think Hickok, who did a video on the Security 9, made this comment during his video. He's like, yeah, we had the Security 6, it had 6 rounds, that's understandable, but now we have the Security 9, and it has 9 rounds? No, it has 15 rounds. So I actually thought it was going to be like a single stack 9mm, and I was like, well, that's cool. Come to find out, no, it's a double stack, basically rivaling the Glock 19. So that's cool. It's like the same size. I actually got to go to a gun shop today and handle one. I handled that, and then I handled the new Glock 19X as well, which is essentially a Glock 19 slide on a Glock 17 frame, but I actually got to say it was pretty comfortable because most of the time I've never really liked full-size Glocks because I always felt that they were just too big. But this one was actually very comfortable. I was pretty impressed by it. But yeah, the Ruger was about the size of a Glock 19. Felt very good in the hand. Very good in the hand. I actually snapped the trigger once. You know, typically in gun shops you try not to snap triggers, but I was like, look left, look right, snap. I was like, whoa, that's light. I thought it was light because I think Hickok was not very impressed by the trigger. But man, I snapped that thing and I was like, whoa. And it's hammer fired. That's the thing. It's not a striker fired pistol. It's hammer fired. It's a semi-internal hammer. If you look through the back of the gun, you can see the hammer visually, but you can't actually physically manipulate it. So normally hammer fired guns, I mean, most of the time they I don't know. I've had bad experiences with some pistols, but what's the last hammer fired gun I had? FNP maybe, the FNP 45 or the Beretta, and their triggers weren't bad. They were pretty good triggers, but this was light. It was really light for a hammer fired trigger. I was really impressed, and then the cool thing is that they're cheap. They're very cheap. The one I'm eyeing right now is retail $296. Now, after the state of Ohio takes its taxes, because this is a local shop, I'll be right around 317, 318 into it. That is super cheap because I handled it. It doesn't feel cheap. Like, it doesn't feel like a cheap handgun. It feels pretty darn good. It's light. It is very light. I think, I don't have it in front of me, but American Rifleman, for those of you who subscribe to that magazine, just did a write-up of that, and then the 9mm carbine they put out, and I think it said it was like 23 ounces unloaded. Pretty neat. It felt really light holding it. I was impressed. At any rate, I was pretty impressed. So that's something that I might be adding. I might be adding that to the arsenal, at least for a time. You know, like I said, I'm not sentimental about firearms. The Glock 19 has been, my Gen 5, and watch out for a follow-up video with the Gen 5, because we need to rediscuss that gun a little bit. I did my initial thoughts video, but now I've put, definitely more than 1,000 rounds through it, and I've got a couple other observations and some corrections to that video. So that'll eventually come out once I can get out and do it, really. But yeah, I think that the 19's just the thing it just stays with me. It's just one of those utilitarian pistols. But the Security 9 is very interesting. It definitely has me captivated. Ruger has done some really good jobs, with some of the stuff they've put out. I haven't been 100% a Ruger person. Now, I think that their revolver lines are fantastic, but some of their polymer pistols have been a little to me. But this one I actually think is at least a solid double off the wall. Maybe not a home run, maybe not a triple. If it's a triple, it's not standing, but definitely a good standing double off the wall. And we'll kind of see what they do next. But yeah, this SHOT Show is really interesting, and we will definitely have a show on SHOT Show, as well as some of the manufacturers that are putting things out, as well as Ration stuff. I really want to make sure that you know this channel is ever growing. I'm still going to be putting out as much content as I possibly can. The last thing that I want to get to before I sign off, a couple questions for you. Well, a couple of observations, comments, whatever. So, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the audio podcast? Do you think that it's something that would be cool? Would you listen to it? If you have any sort of comments, make sure you put them in the comments section. I really do enjoy reading those. And you know what? I think what I'd like to do, if it's possible, that is, I'd like to have a Q&A section of these. I think it would be neat for you to be, kind of like into this, sort of into, the podcast or audio log itself. I think it'd be neat to, have some comments on the previous video and then read them here and answer them. Maybe you have something like that. That'd be really cool. What do you think? Is there anything else I could do with it? Do you think 30 minutes is too short, too long? Should I chop it up in a little bit more bite-sized thoughts? Just anything, let me know. Do you think this show should, just be on YouTube? Would it be more convenient to have it on, I don't know, put the audio on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and Podbean and stuff? Do you think that would be something that you would like to see happen? Because like for me at work, I listen to podcasts pretty much all day, but I don't necessarily want to have YouTube up because it drains my phone faster. So would this be better to have on those mediums? Would any of you even subscribe to it? I don't know. Maybe I could do that. I could definitely do that. I mean, I have the capability, so let me know. Let me know if that's something that would be a benefit to you guys. And also, help me name this thing because I don't have a name for it. I'm not very clever when it comes to names. So somebody out there, make me a name, pop it in the comment section. Best one wins. What does it win? My eternal gratitude. My eternal gratitude. But no, if any of you have any name suggestions, drop them because I'm at a loss. I'm just going to post this up here and we'll call it something and we'll go from there. I'll rename it later. But anyway, folks, I guess I've rambled on about long enough. Just wanted to get out a couple things and, kind of give you some updates on the channel. There's a lot more to come. We've got a lot of cool stuff I'm looking into. And just, thank you very much to all the subscribers. YouTube has been a heck of a lot of fun. Hearing from the regulars has been a lot of fun. And, just doing this hobby has been a lot of fun. So just hope to keep adding on. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you very much for stopping by once again. See you all later.